How strong is GIGACHAD? We're gonna go over his feats, power level, and strength to see how strong GIGACHAD is in the memeverse. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy, because it's gonna get crazy. To be able to power scale GIGACHAD, we first have to take a look at his origin story. The story of GIGACHAD begins when he was first on the Among Us spaceship. He'd then be ejected for being far too sussy. After floating in space for millennia, he'd end up on planet Earth but lose all of his memories. He'd then go to high school and become the captain of the football team, but turn into an absolute annoying person and then become Chad. He'd be a bully and stuff people into lockers. However, everything would change when prom would come around and he'd be rejected by Uwu Girl. Using this as motivation, he'd go on a massive self-transformation journey, hitting the gym for 23 hours and 59 minutes every day. He'd only leave 1 minute for rest, and going through all of this turned him from a regular Chad into GIGACHAD. But as GIGACHAD was leaving Planet Fitness, he'd be challenged by Four Fingers Beast Boy. They'd get into an insane and intense head-to-head battle which would last hours. GIGACHAD would pull through but then be severely damaged and severely weakened. Because of this, he'd go to Billy Mega Chippy to replenish his energy. But before he could get any refreshments, he'd be challenged by an even more menacing foe, Quandale Dingle. They'd engage in a crazy head-to-head battle, but with Quandale Dingle having the upper hand with GIGACHAD being weakened, Quandale would take the W. But before Quandale Dingle would finish him off, GIGACHAD would escape. This is when GIGACHAD would hit the gym for 2 years straight, 24 hours a day. Due to this insanely intense training, GIGACHAD would reach his final form, Boundless Omega Chad GIGACHAD. Through this insane transformation, he'd inspire many other GIGACHADs across platforms like TikTok and YouTube to gain his facial structure. And just like that, GIGACHAD became one of the strongest characters in the memeverse. So now that that's out of the way, let's take a look at GIGACHAD in his base form. First of all, base form GIGACHAD could beat 100% Ultra Instinct Shaggies. To put that into perspective, 0.001% Ultra Instinct Shaggy could absolutely wipe the floor with Ultra Instinct Goku. If we reference chapter 5 of the manga, we could see GIGACHAD easily soloing a universe. In chapter 5 of the manga, it's clearly stated that GIGACHAD is able to just wipe a verse by waving his hand. This is proven when the Sussy Among Us actually tried to jump GIGACHAD along with Quandale Dingle, but in the blink of an eye, GIGACHAD waved his hand, wiped out the Sussy Among Us, and wiped their verse. If you've read the manga, you'd also know this is the same chapter where he went on his villain arc. In his villain arc, he remained in his base form but still completely managed to defeat the Sussy Among Us warriors and take out the Sussy Among Us king. This is all base form GIGACHAD, by the way. Base form GIGACHAD also just has some baseline powers like absolute super strength and also flight. But how strong is GIGACHAD in his second strongest form, DripChad? In this form, he's actually proven to be the drippiest character in the verse. By being the drippiest character in the verse, he's pretty much able to pull off any fit possible. He even has chains made out of Obamium. If you don't know about Obamium, it's the strongest material in the memeverse and was used to craft King Bob's Excalibur. Also, he's so drippy that he out-dripped Drip Goku. To put that into perspective, Drip Goku is equivalent to about 100,000 drip doges. With this insane drip, he was able to pull off the craziest 1v5 in the memeverse. This is when he fought Kumulala, Sylvester, Mr. Kaioken, Super Saiyan Gumball 1000%, Ugandan Knuckles 10%. This was by far one of the most intense battles in the memeverse, with them going hand to hand for a total of 3 hours. In the midst of this battle, Sylvester would be the first one to go down. After he'd completely soloed Sylvester, Kumulala tried to come in for a low sweeping kick. DripChad would just simply jump over this and one-punch Kumulala. Before he'd react, Ugandan Knuckles would come from behind, but then DripChad would just simply proceed to teleport. After this teleportation, he'd perform one of the meanest moves ever seen in the memeverse. He'd teleport around and just simply push him and bully him. After he'd take him out, he'd move on to the next opponent. He'd then be approached by Super Saiyan Gumball 1000%. Also known as Blue Super Saiyan Gumball. But when GIGACHAD realized this was simply a decoy and Mr. Kaioken was coming from behind, he'd simply just dodge the attack. DripChad would activate his own Kaioken and completely slap up Mr. Kaioken. After that, he'd be left one-on-one with SSJ Blue Gumball. This is where they'd engage in a crazy hand-to-hand combat fight with no clear victor at first. But when GIGACHAD would put on his ice chain, the fight was pretty much done. His drip alone completely soloed SSJ Blue Gumball. In fact, his drip is so immensely high that it ranks as an infinity out of 10 on the drip scale. To put that into perspective, Drip Goku is a 10 out of 10 on the drip scale. But what is GIGACHAD's strongest form? GIGACHAD in his strongest form is Boundless Omega Chad GIGACHAD. In this form, he completely transcends the Omniverse. He's so OP that he probably solos your favorite verse. Alright, let's go over his insane power levels. First of all, we'll take a look at his reality manipulation. This basically means that he could bend the memeverse to his will. This includes deleting characters like Big Chungus from the memeverse. This also includes manipulating the state of Ohio to make it the most dangerous place on planet Earth. This also includes manipulating characters like Doge to remove their powers to command other animals. In fact, this reality manipulation can even affect Boundless and former Boundless level characters. This reality manipulation has been used to derail characters like Metro Man. On top of that, only King Bob with Excalibur could stop his reality manipulation. Now to talk about Excalibur, it's pretty much the strongest item in the memeverse, no debate. The single fact that it would take that item to even put a stop to Omega Chad GigaChad is crazy. On top of that, the second strongest item, Mr. Bean's Teddy, couldn't even lay a scratch on him. His second power is to transcend the Omniverse. This means that he's beyond omnipotent, he's beyond omniscient, and he's beyond omnipresent in the memeverse. In fact, he's so strong in this form, he was able to defeat many other Boundless characters in their strongest form. This includes characters like Super Shrek, 1,000,000,000% Ultra Instinct Shaggy, and Dark Knuckles, the strongest form of Ugandan Knuckles. This form of GigaChad is so unspeakably powerful that the only character that could pretty much stand up to him is Omega Dingle, Quendale Dingle's strongest form. Outside of that, characters would need many external items like Shrek with the Infinity Meme Gauntlet. Now that we've taken a look at all three strongest forms of GigaChad, we need to take a look at buffs that he's recently been given in the memeverse. After his recent loss to the Romanian final boss, GigaChad has decided to increase his power level even more. Base form GigaChad's form has been buffed by 50 Ultra Instinct Shaggies at 100%. His drippiest form, Drip Chad, has been buffed by 100 Drip Gokus. And his strongest form, Boundless Omega Chad GigaChad, has been buffed to a power level equivalent to 2 Cameramans and a Metro Man. Now, after all these buffs, GigaChad is definitely a top 5 strongest character in the memeverse. We'll have to read the new manga chapters and keep up to see how strong GigaChad gets in the memeverse. So where does GigaChad rank in the memeverse? Based on his feats, power level, and strength, GigaChad is pretty much a Boundless level character. His power levels are equivalent to characters like Shrek and Quendale Dingle. But it wasn't always this easy for GigaChad. He had to go through a series of nerfs before he became the powerful character that he is now. Previously, he was nerfed very heavily by the group leader. In fact, the group leader was able to take 20% of his power. In fact, when he lost to the Romanian final boss, he even dropped out of the top 5 strongest characters in the memeverse. In fact, GigaChad was so weak that he could have easily lost to Dark Knuckles and mind-controlled Ultra Instinct Shaggy. But due to his insane GigaChad challenge level training in Ohio, he was able to become extremely powerful. Now you see the current form GigaChad, which is in the top 5 strongest characters in the memeverse. That's how strong GigaChad is in the memeverse. Let me know who you want to see next. Like and subscribe for more, and see ya!